You know what's wild to me? The same people crying about ICE are the same people who lock their doors at night and call 911 if there's a threat, and then demand justice when they're the victim. But when ICE shows up to do that exact job, suddenly they're fascist, racist, and domestic threats. Not on my watch. ICE doesn't just enforce the law, they step in where every other system has failed, and today they're finally being unleashed. Y'all remember that mass protester who threw bricks at ICE agents?
You're under arrest for assaulting federal agents.
Give him 20 years. Give him 20 years. He need 20 years. 20 years on the clock. ICE agents. He was throwing rocks. 20 years. Oh, no, let me stop. Look, man, that mask ain't saving you now. The same cowards who throw rocks behind these hoodies fold when the feds show up. Same thing. This is what justice looks like. Not hashtags, not a mural, none of that. I mean, come on, you throw rocks, you throw bricks, at federal officers, you get cuffed. End of story. This isn't oppression. This is consequence. And that's the part the left hates the most. Now, they don't say, but ICE arrest people unfairly. Let's actually hear how this process works again from the inside of the agency itself.
We're not out just randomly arresting individuals. There's a process to it. And there is an interview, there is a ask, whatever we do, we identify ourselves. And of course, we're asking for identification. We're asking them to let us know who they are. And typically, if that person can, without a doubt say that, hey, I am a U.S. citizen, we walk away. We're not.
So this is Agent Paul, who has 15 years of experience with ICE. So yes, he's definitely a veteran. He broke it down plain. They identify, they verify, they walk away if you're legit. This isn't some rogue task force, okay? It's structured, legal, and necessary. But here's the truth. When mistakes happen, and yes, they sometimes do, it ain't ICE being reckless. It's a broken immigration system. Politicians refuse to acknowledge that it needs to continue to be fixed and worked on, as the current administration is doing. But instead of fixing the policies, they blame the agents, and that's when the headlines obviously come out.
Today in Ontario, another ICE raid and another U.S. citizen taken into custody.
I'm right here, Angel. I'm right here.
Angel Pena says he was minding his own business when masked federal agents showed up at the Stater Brothers. Customers began to shout at them, telling them to leave, but some went inside the store. Nearby doorbell video shows Pena running away, approaching a passing SUV looking for help, but the agents wound up violently taking him into custody.
Wait, Joey, wait.
They were shoving my head against the ground, elbowed me, and they used forcefully a baton to really pierce my side.
Pena says he tried explaining to the agents that he was an American, but they ignored him.
I know, just stop for a second.
I told them I was born, I had an ID, I had a social, I had a birth certificate, and none of the officers, the ICE agents that were on scene, they didn't care about none of that.
Only when a supervisor showed up was he released. Earlier this month, a federal judge here in Los Angeles ordered the Trump administration to stop ICE agents from targeting people based on their skin color, accent, or job.
Look, what happened to Angel, shouldn't happen. Let's be real. If this is the case, that ain't proof that ICE is evil. That's proof that paperwork chaos, the left-run databases, and the activist judges put agents in impossible situations. ICE didn't fail the system. The system failed. You know what I'm saying? But ICE showed up and did their job. That's the difference. And now they're finally being allowed to do it without political handcuffs.
ICE just announced that undocumented immigrants will be arrested regardless of their criminal record. the government is pouring money into hiring thousands of CBP and ICE agents across the United States, including right here in Dallas. This means immigration enforcement will get tougher before it gets better. But the best way to stay safe is to stay informed and keep up with the latest updates. Together, we can protect ourselves and our communities. ICE just announced that undocumented...
Yep, no more cherry picking, no more, only the violent ones. If you're in this country illegally, you're now on the radar. This ain't cruelty, this is consistency. For years, Americans followed the rules while illegals get these loopholes. Now those days are over. And guess what? Guess who's not taking it so well? The same professional victims, man, who ride every time they don't get their way. This is Antifa in Portland, y'all.
Nobody's on your property. The sidewalk is not your property. You're psychotic. You're psychotic. No one's on your property. Go back inside and have a donut or something. Thieves! Liars! Thieves and liars! Release him! Release him! Release him! Release him! No one's on federal property. Literally no one. And they're threatening to shoot people right now. They got guys up on the roof saying, get off federal property or we're going to shoot you. I'm getting positive feedback. No one's on federal property.
Graffiti on ICE buildings. You got the feds surrounded. ICE agents standing on rooftops while children in black hoodies scream fascist. Obviously, they're not children, but, you know, if you look at the mind frame and having... This isn't a protest, man. This is domestic sabotage. And still, ICE doesn't fold. They show up. They hold the line. Meanwhile, in LA, we've got people getting arrested for voguing.
Leave that queen alone! She's an American icon! What are you...
Guess who's back in the house? Heels flip black in a bound. Fine fresh feminine style to 11. I'm divine so heavy.
Nah, obviously I gotta pause this music.
Body like wow. She back in.
But yeah. Look, man, this one ain't even about ICE. But it proves the chaos in LA. Who has no control? The streets is a circus. And while the cops arrest dancers, ICE is the only force actually doing something real right now, you know? And what does the woke crowd do in response? They start protesting Walmart. Yeah, Walmart. But apparently, enforcing immigration laws at a retail store is now oppression. This level of delusion we're dealing with, you know. They do not, excuse me, they do not want justice. They want chaos with a coupon code. But there's one man who gets it. And He doesn't hold back.
How hard is it for you to understand illegal immigrants do not belong here and should not live here? You simple-minded, low-energy, self-centered, democratic sheep are so toxic to America that it is ridiculous. You're tearing.
Mind you, I'm sorry, I had to pause this. I'm going to start it over. Mind you, that Walmart protest took place in New Mexico. Yeah.
How hard is it for you to understand illegal immigrants do not belong here and should not live here? You simple-minded, low-energy, self-centered, democratic sheep are so toxic to America that it is ridiculous. You're tearing your own country apart. Have you even been in another country before? Have you been an immigrant in another country and seen how they treat Americans? You probably haven't. I tried to buy a house in Mexico. You know what they said? You're not a resident. You're not welcome here. I tried to rent a house in Mexico. They said, you're not a resident. You're not welcome here. And I promise you, the same people that build these housing communities build it with the American dollar that they earned and they took back home. Somehow, it is all connected. When I was in Thailand, I was planning to leave the day after my visa expired. I had my plane ticket ready and everything. You know what happened? My girlfriend got mad at me. Then she called the cops on me, and then I had to get arrested and taken to the airport, and they had to make me leave. Even though I had a ticket ready, they wanted me to just get out. When I was dying in a hospital bed in Cambodia, nobody wanted to help me. Nobody wanted to even help me use the bathroom because I couldn't walk. They would say, oh, you're American. You're too big for us. We're not strong enough for you, being sarcastic. And then when the bill came for the price of admission to that hospital, it was like 20 times more what the locals paid. For what reason? Because I was American. Every country I have been to, I get drilled and harassed for why I am visiting there. And if anybody catches me staying one day over my visa, I'm going to jail. All of the businesses there, from people that worked in America, invested in a business in their home country, all of them are scamming Americans. Everything's like 10 times more for the American. But yet, you can't understand why it's wrong for them to come to our country, make money, and take it back home, not pay taxes on it, by the way, and not support our country at all, and they can stay as long as they want like a free handout. You can tear your country down just so you can go against the opposing political party. It doesn't matter what's going on. You will go against whatever Republicans are trying to do. You know why? Because you're a professional protester. All of you are professional protesters.
Look, like he said, he tried renting in Mexico. Ooh. Gotta go get me some tea. But yeah, he tried renting in Mexico. They told him, you don't belong. Overstayed in Thailand. He got cuffed immediately, hospitalized in Cambodia. He said they charged him 20 times more. And yet in the U.S., we've been over backwards for people who break in. The hypocrisy isn't just frustrating, y'all. It's dangerous. The same thing. That's where we got to draw the line. Draw the line. Because this ain't about race. This ain't about hate. It's about restoring order in a nation addicted to disorder. ICE agents aren't the villains, man. But they're the last defense between structure and chaos, if I'm being completely honest with you. And if you're more mad at them than the criminals that they arrest, oh, maybe you're the problem. Y'all be safe. Go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.